Hello everybody, introspection here. So as you know, the world is currently entering the apocalypse, and that can be just a smidge stressful. In fact, so much so, I'm actually a little worried that the stress is going to get to us before anything else. So in light of this, I decided to make a video hoping to give you guys a way to de-stress. I'm going to start with the ways that are scientifically proven and end with the ways that aren't. One more quick disclaimer before I begin, even the ones that are scientifically proven don't work for everyone because we're all different individuals. So you might have to try a couple of these out before you find the ones that work best for you. We will start with a practice forbidden by multiple high-level institutions. Chewing gum. Yeah, that's right. Believe it or not, chewing gum can actually help relieve stress and anxiety. And on top of that, it's been scientifically shown to improve concentration and memory recollection. Now, obviously, if you're going to try to use gum as a very regular means of de-stressing, then you're probably going to want to go out of your way to try to find healthier gum, because after a certain point, you probably shouldn't be trying to absorb that much sugar. Now, if you're using it on a very casual basis, not that often, yeah, regular gum's probably fine. But if you're using it extremely frequently, then again, you're probably going to want to go out of your way to find some healthier gum, which, believe it or not, is a thing. There are tons of different healthy gum that you can find. It's crazy. There's like nutrient gum and vitamin gum and beauty gum and caffeine gum. Obviously, too much of any of those things can be very bad for you, so you definitely want to look into which one's best for you. And you might even want to get different kinds of gum just to make sure it's all balanced out and you don't get too much of any one thing. But point being, if you're planning to do this on a super regular basis, maybe don't go with the standard super sugary stuff. Next idea I will plant in your head is a house plant. I cringed as I said that, but we're going to keep going with it and pretend I said something cool instead. But in all seriousness, houseplants have been scientifically shown to really help you de-stress. Now, you have a couple options when it comes to this. You can get a high-maintenance plant, which even though it's going to be a lot of work, as long as it's not like a very demanding tree or something like that, it can also be very low-energy, relaxing work. So it can act as something that can regularly take your mind off of things. Now, if you don't particularly like taking care of plants, then you can still get a low maintenance plant that requires very little attention and still get the benefits of having a plant in your house to relieve your stress. And whether you go with the high maintenance or low maintenance options, you can still get a plant that produces some sort of pleasant scent, which will also add to relieving stress. So you have a lot of different options when it comes to plants. Definitely look into it if it looks like something you might be interested in. And of course, like I said before, there are several different options. So even if like the first initial plant might not appeal to you, go ahead and look around. You might be surprised that one of them is a perfect fit for you. Now, next thing scientifically proven to help you relax is looking at fractals. Now, if you're a normal person, you might not know what that is. Basically, it's these kinds of shapes. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen now. It's like these ongoing pattern type of deals. For whatever reason, it's been shown that looking at these can help you relax. I mean, you guys tell me, I'm showing them on the screen right now, tell me if you feel more zen. Listen to my voice. Go into a deep, hypnotic state where you can stare and relax and hit the subscribe button. No, but in all seriousness, trying to look at these on a semi-regular basis, having a couple on your phone, maybe even make it your screensaver if you want, can help you relax a little bit. Obviously, it might not work for everybody, but one of those things that it really is not going to hurt to try out. Tell me if it works for you. I'm legitimately curious. Now, this next one is super obvious, but I kind of feel like it's so obvious, people don't think to actually do it. Watch something funny, whether it be a comedy show, a movie, a TV show, take your pick. In this case, laughter can literally be the best medicine. So go ahead, sit back, watch something funny, and odds are you're going to feel a lot better than when you started. And with that, you better give science a kiss goodbye, because we are leaving it behind, and we are entering the realm of stuff I either found or came up with. The first thing I'm going to start off with is online multiplayer game. Now, you might not be a gamer, I understand that, but in this very specific instance, it might benefit you to consider this, simply because we are at a point where we're very limited in our human interaction for very obvious reasons. Doing an online game can really help, and it doesn't have to be something crazy like you have to go out, get a $900 PC or a $300 Xbox or whatever the case may be. For instance, most computers can run chess or checkers. You can go ahead, find an application or website that does online chess or checkers, make an account, find another buddy, talk him into making an account, and then as you guys are playing, you can talk over the phone, so at the very least you have some kind of human interaction. Because even though I know a good percentage of us are more or less introverts, for the most part, we still do need a certain amount of social interaction. Some of us more than others, but humans are, social. We kind of need that to stay sane. So doing something like an online multiplayer with a friend, even if it's not something crazy, as simple as checkers or chess or whatever else you can find, then that can help feel reconnected with somebody. Obviously, it's not as ideal as meeting in person with somebody, but it can help hold you off until you can finally meet your friend. Now, on the flip side, some of us are just ready to strangle whoever is living with us. Understandably so. As much as we may love the people we live with, there's a certain point where we do need our alone time. And if we don't get that, things tend to get a little tense, as I'm sure many of you have discovered. So one thing I would actually recommend doing is just find something that's just stupid fun. Like, not stupid fun like it's super fun, but like literally very dumb fun. I'll give you an example. One thing I did with a couple friends a while back before this whole thing started is everybody was given like a ton of marshmallows, and we just started chucking it at each other, like with all of our force. It was awesome, because all of the pent-up rage we had for anybody else was just focused and supercharged the launch of that marshmallow. And just throwing the marshmallows around, trying to dodge them like ninjas, was awesome. Now, obviously, you probably want to do it in kind of an empty room or mostly empty room, because you don't want to knock anything over and you don't want to find that like a marshmallow got stuck somewhere and find it like 3 weeks later. But seriously, doing this is just a lot of fun. You can do something similar if you get like dart guns, and I don't mean like the sharp dart guns. Please don't do that. But like Nerf guns, or those are kind of expensive, so you can get like the knockoff Nerf gun stuff. Works pretty much just as well. Just get like a bunch of Nerf darts or knockoff Nerf darts. You can get like a ton of them for super cheap if you go for the knockoff darts, and then just go all out. Maybe put on like some battle music if you really want to get into it, and then just start firing at each other. Again, it's not something that makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't necessarily have to have a winner, but just being able to just pellet and throw a barrage of either darts or marshmallows at whoever you're kind of stressed or trapped with can be extremely relieving. And especially couples. I've seen that a lot of people who are living together romantically have gotten like super stressed. People are like threatening to divorce because they're just really trapped with each other. So doing something like this can help relieve a lot of that stress. Now, if you're looking for something a fair less chaotic, then one really calm, simple thing you could do is make like a scented slime, which sounds way more disgusting than it actually is. Doing something or making something like a scented slime, first of all, just making it can be a little bit relaxing. But more importantly, when you end up with this very relaxing blob that you can just kind of mess with but still smell, it can be therapeutic because you have the scent of it, which relaxes you, and you have something to do with your hands. So between these two things, it creates a state of zen, on top of which it gives you something to do to keep your mind off of things. One word of warning though, whatever recipe you decide to use, just make sure it's a good one, because there are a lot of people online who will put out bad recipes, and these bad recipes can cause major medical problems. So just make sure you find a good one, and when you do, you follow all of the safety instructions. Alright, last one. Finding a hobby. Now you might be saying, but wait, I'm super busy. I don't have time for a hobby. Just hang on, hear me out on this. What kind of hobby you choose is entirely dependent on you, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a super time-consuming one, or you can even turn another hobby into a very easy-to-do, not time-consuming hobby. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're into art, or you like to draw. Just buy for like £2 or £3, give or take, a little notebook, and keep it in your back pocket. Then whenever you have a couple minutes to spare here and there, just take it out, doodle on it. That way you have a very easy way to just draw something. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, or it can be if you have the time for it. And this way you can still engage in that kind of thing and not take up too much time. And of course, you can do other stuff. For instance, if you like building things and you have a lot of time, you can go ahead and get like really complicated sets to put together. Or if you don't have a lot of time, what you can do is get Minecraft Pocket Edition on your phone. Doesn't cost too much money, and then that way whenever you have a couple minutes, you can pop in, build something, and pop out. And of course you don't necessarily have to finish it on the spot, so you can start here 5 minutes, next 5-minute break, continue on, and so on and so forth. Another one that I personally highly recommend is dancing, since it keeps you active and moving. Now, you might have a couple hours to practice your dance moves, or you might only have 5 minutes. In that case, just make sure you keep a playlist of songs that you like to dance to, dance for about 5 minutes, then keep working. All in all, my point here is that you really should look into getting a hobby, because it can help keep your mind off of things. And don't think that a hobby is inaccessible to you just because you don't have like several hours of free time. Even if you only have 5 minutes, you can still have a hobby. You just need to find one that you can do very flexibly. And there are a lot more of those than people realize. So go ahead and look into it. Who knows? Maybe a hobby that you thought previously inaccessible because of time constraints, turns out there's a way you can do it even with just 5 minutes here and there. Well guys, that's it for today. Hang on. So I'm looking at my notes here, guys, and it seems that I have forgotten to mention one. Apparently, this method has been scientifically proven to be able to completely get rid of stress in anybody in the entire world. According to this, using sciencey research, it has been discovered that one proven method of completely alleviating any and all stress is going on to YouTube, finding the YouTuber Introspection, and watching all of his videos. And if you're still not completely de-stressed, then the next thing you should do is send his videos to all the people you've ever met. And apparently, that is scientifically proven to get rid of any and all stress. In fact, so scientifically proven that there's no need to bother trying to fact check me on that. It's just so proven to that point. So don't even worry about going on and asking some psychologist if any of this is accurate, because you can believe a man on the internet that he is saying yes. Yeah. Please don't check to see if that's accurate, just do it. Alright, but in all seriousness, the ones that are actually scientifically proven, my resources will be down in the description below. That will be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and feel a little bit more relaxed. If you have any other methods of relaxing, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. Otherwise, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. I'm a little desperate. And don't forget the bell button because I post every other week. So until then, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye guys!